So let's begin. What is the plan for the day? We are meeting approximately after 5, 6 days now. See, we were learning about two things, list, and we were learning about tuple. Two data types I taught. Today, we will devote today's class only for writing programs using list. There will be pure programming done. And one very interesting aspect of Python, I will tell you, which is called as list comprehension. See, the topic will start with list comprehension, but then later on, I will also tell you that there is something called set comprehension. I am not writing this word again. So just as there is list comprehension, there is set comprehension, then there is dictionary comprehension also. Dictionary comprehension. But there is nothing called tuple comprehension. Tuple comprehension is not possible. First of all, we don't know what is comprehension. But very early, I am telling that 4 collections are there in Python, correct? 4 collections. You can collect in list, you can collect in tuple or in a set or in a dictionary. Out of these 4 collections, only list comprehension, set comprehension, dictionary comprehension is possible. Tuple comprehension is not possible. Why? All those things we will answer. So these two, will be devoted only for programming. You will find today's class very interesting, trust me. And then if time permits, I will introduce set today. Okay, so let's start with the first programming question. Here we go. Let's look at question number 1. Question says, suppose list text stores these values. Imagine that we have a list which is already storing these values, some positive, some negative values, all are integers, as you see. We are asked to create 2 new lists, A and B. So A should be a list, B should be a list. Okay, such that list A stores values greater than 10. All the values from list X which are greater than 10 should be in list A, and list B should store values less than or equal to 10. So therefore, finally A should store 18, because see, A should store values greater than 10. I'm sorry. So 15 will be the first value. 15. Next value will be 18. Next value 29, and next value 86. This will be list A. And list B should then store values less than or equal to 10. So 5, 7, minus 3 should be in list B. We want to write such a program. Here we will be using for loop along with the list X. And we will use if else also inside that for loop. You must recall the property of the list. List is iterable. A very important property. List is iterable means we can iterate, we can travel in the list using for loop. Element by element we can travel. Okay. So let's see the code. How we will write this. In our Python code, we will make this list X. Okay. 15, whatever values, upper values may not match, because list X may contain any values. I am storing some values. 15, then 10, then 2, 18, 66, minus 3. Suppose these are the values in list X. You know what is to be done. Filter the values. Take out the values less than 10 in A, greater than 10 in A, and less than or equal to 10 in B. Okay. Now what we do first is, we make a list A. We know that list A should finally have all these values. Correct? All greater than 10 values. But currently we say list A, you be empty. Recall, I taught 2 methods to create empty list. You can write this line like this. This is clearly an empty list, empty square bracket. Or you can write this line as A is equal to list, round bracket open, round bracket close. List is a function which creates a list, and we have not given any values in the bracket. So list empty bracket will create a new list and A will be that new list, which is empty. Either you can write this or this. Similarly, we will create another empty list B. B is equal to square bracket. Okay. Now we will traverse this list X. Travel element by element. Go to this element, next element, next element. How do you travel? Simple. The grammar is also so simple. We write for and decide some variable. Okay. Other than X, A, B, because X, A, B are variables which we have already used. So let's say I write variable T. Then there comes a word in, and then the name of the list X, colon. You know, for loop always ends with colon. How do you read this in English? In English, you say that this variable T, will be equal to, this T will be equal to each and every element of X one by one. So T will be first time equal to 15, and then the loop will run, taking T as 15. Next time when the loop repeats, T will be 10. Next time when the loop repeats, T will be 2 till the end. So finally, during last repetition, T will be minus 3. Now, what are you supposed to do with this? You have taken value in T, like 15 you have taken. Now you will inspect it. If it is greater than 10, then you put that value in list A. So obviously, the indented portion will be if T is greater than 10, colon. That means the value that you have just now picked up, just now, is greater than 10. Then append that value. Which value are we appending? T, current value, in list A. So A dot append. Correct? All these things, all functions we have seen how they work. We are only putting it in the form of program. Then we will outdent and put else. Now, if this condition is false, then obviously T is not greater than 10. That means current value is not greater than 10. Then the current value is obviously less than or equal to 10, opposite of this. So we will append that value. Which value? T in list B. And then let the for loop repeat. So this is the indented part in the for loop. And listen, when the for loop ends, when the for loop ends, we'll outdent and we will print list A and we will print list B. But this will be done outside the for loop, outdented. Correct? That's it. This is the code. Now, I have already written this code before coming to the class. Just a second. If T is greater than 10, then append it in A. Same program. Only the list may not match. So whatever values are greater than 10 in X, will be appended in A. Otherwise, the values will be appended in B. And notice I have outdented these two statements. They are not in the for loop. They are outdented. So A and B will be printed. Okay. I have saved this with trial1.py. I'll run this and you will see that this first list is list A. All values greater than 10. These values is list B. All values less than or equal to 10. Okay. Now, without taking any pause, any break, what I want to tell you is that what if I tell you that everything, that I have written from here up to here can be written in one line. Of course, whatever procedure we have written, whatever code we have written is excellent and it is working. But let's say I want to write all this thing in one line. Then it is possible and it is done by using list comprehension. So list comprehension in Python is not anything used for anything new concept or solving any new problem, but the problem can be already solved. Take in mind, first of all, the problem is already solved. We know how to solve it. Only thing is, we want to crunch the number of lines in the code so that maybe we are taking some 7 lines to write it and we can write it in one line. If you want to do this, then you use list comprehension. So keep one thing in mind, list comprehension is not compulsory. Maybe you are a Python programmer and you don't know list comprehension at all. So what? You don't know list comprehension, but still you can write the same code using bit longer lines, correct or not? So how do you write this? Just check. I'll write here towards the right. Same thing I am writing. Huh? Just observe. A is equal to square bracket T for T in X if T greater than 10 square bracket close. I hope this is visible. This is properly visible. Huh? First moment, anybody sees this line, really gets confused. Oh my God, what is all this? Surely, uh, anybody telling a story in one line won't be appreciated. Anybody telling a story in 2 pages descriptively, only that person will be appreciated. But let me tell you, the story that we have written on the left-hand side and story on the right-hand side are same. Okay? Now, you just check how we have written this list comprehension. Just 5 minutes talk I will do. Okay? And trust me, you will never forget list comprehension. What is our aim is that this list A should store values greater than 10. Correct? List A should store values greater than 10. But which values? Those values which are there in list X. So first you will have to go through the values of list X. How did you do in the left-hand side code here? Simple, you wrote a for loop. Check this left-hand side code. You wrote for T in X. And then you put colon here in the left-hand side code. What this code means is that T is a variable which will take values of X one by one. Correct? Now you observe the for loop that we have written here on the left-hand side, absolutely same for loop I have written here for T in X. Of course, colon is not there on the right-hand side. For T in X, that's it. Okay, in list comprehension, you have written the for loop exactly as you have written on the left-hand side. But colon is not there. That's not there in the grammar, in the rules of list comprehension. Okay. So what do you know from this for loop? What will happen? This is a for loop which will repeat for every value of X. So T will first time become 15. Note our first value is 15. Correct? Then next time this for loop will repeat. Internally, this for loop is repeating just as this for loop is repeating. So this T next time will become 10. Then this T in this for loop of the list comprehension will become 2. So the for loop is repeating. And each time that T, variable T, becomes equal to next value of X. Now, imagine this for loop has just now started, first time started. So T will be 15. Correct? First time when this for loop runs, T is 15. After T becomes 15, the if is checked. Look at the sequence in which the statements in that square bracket, we have given this entire thing in square bracket. Did you observe that? Run. First runs for loop and for loop says, okay, variable T will become 15. Then if runs. Now T is already 15, variable T has taken 15. We then check if 15 is greater than 10. This if you watch. And it is true, 15 is greater than 10. Then you now observe this first part written here. Then that value of T, what is the value of T? 15. That value of T will be appended in A. A is a list which will take 15. But when it will take 15, when it will take the value of T, only if this condition is true. If the condition is true that we have written, whatever condition we have written, in this example, it is if T greater than 10. If the condition is true, only then T is allowed in A. So now A, which is a list, is already storing 15. Now what happens next? Again, this for loop will repeat. See, internally this for loop is repeating. This time you observe it will take this value 10. Okay. So T is now exactly 10. After T becomes 10, again the if will be checked with current value of T. Is 10 greater than 10? False. We want only greater than 10 values. T is exactly 10 now. So this condition this time is false. As this condition is false for current value of T, then the current value of T, will not be appended. It is like restricting that T. 10, you cannot go in A. A is a list. Current value of T cannot go in A because that condition is false for the current value. Then again the for loop runs. This time T will become 2. This variable T will become 2. And again the condition is false. So 2 also won't be appended. Next time T will become 18 and 18 is greater than 10. This is a true condition. As the condition is true for current value, then T will be appended. So now A contains 15, 18. Next 66 also will be appended, but -3 won't be appended. And then for loop says I have finished because I have traveled all the values of X. X is now over, list is over. And then the statement ends and A becomes equal to the list. The point here, you observe one thing, the sequence in which you should read that. Many beginners, even I did that. When I first time learned list comprehension, I was always reading this statement from here, from this portion. No, don't read like that. When you read the list comprehension, you read it from the for. You say, okay, this T will take every value of X. For every value of X, we are going to check this condition. And if that condition is true, only then T will be appended in A. Matter ends. Now you tell me one thing. Whatever I have written on the right hand side here, isn't it same as what we have written on the left hand side? See, we have written the for loop for T in X, that we have written here for T in X. Then inside the for loop, we have T greater than 10. See this condition, if T greater than 10, we have written that also here. And then if this condition is true, if T is greater than 10, then we would like to append that T in A. That is this portion. This value will be appended. Append if condition is true. This value will be appended only if this condition is true. If it is false, the value won't be appended. As simple as that. But list comprehension can create only one list at a time. Okay, we want list B also. Then we will have to write a separate line for that. You can't create multiple lists like that. Okay. What does B store? Values less than or equal to 10. So look how I am writing that. B is equal to, this is my list. So I'll write square bracket. List comprehension is always written in square bracket. That's why it is a list. This entire line that we see is written in the square bracket. That qualifies it as a list. Okay. Now how I am developing it? I'll say for T in X. That means I am obtaining value from list X. For that value, if that T is less than or equal to 10, if T is less than or equal to 10, square bracket close, only then append T. Even while writing, initially I had this habit. Even while typing, I used to actually write the for loop, then think of condition, and then think of, okay, now I will append if this condition is true. So 2 lines you will have to write. There is no way by which you can create both the list in one line only. Because first time, you will give a condition that you need for list A. List A should have values greater than 10. And second time, you will have to give a condition that is ideal for list B. Okay. Now coming back to the left-hand side code, I have finished explanation of list comprehension, but see the left-hand side code. In the left-hand side code, before the for loop, we wrote this: A, you become empty list. B, you please be an empty list. Like that we wrote first. And then we wrote the for loop. In the right-hand side code, you don't have to say, before writing these two lines, you don't have to write A is equal to empty list, B is equal to empty list. Because you're already telling Python, A, you are a list. Square bracket means A is a list. And B, you are a list. You have written the square bracket. That qualifies B as a list. What a superb way, isn't it? Two more lines are saved. Watch it out. I'll just go to Python idle. Okay, this was our older code where we initialized A as empty list, B as empty list, correct? Now I'll remove these two lines. And I will keep the remaining code as it is. Correct? Now you just observe this line, a.append t. If I ask you, what does this line do? You will say, easy, sir. It appends that value t, which we have written in the bracket. It appends that value in A. So I ask you, what is A? You will say, A must be a list. Then when you go up, oh my God, we have not said anything about A before. So how will Python assume that A is a list? That becomes a problem. You just check this. If I run this, this time it will give an error. Error is name error. Name A is not defined. It says you are not told me what is A. Although you are saying A.append, but please tell me in advance that A is a list and it does not store anything. Correct? So these two lines would be then necessary in our older code. I hope you have understood. Now, what about our newer code? Okay, I'll just copy this line and I'll type a new program. Okay. Let's create a new file. This is our list. Now I just have to say A is equal to square bracket. Inside the square bracket, we'll say for t in x. If that t is greater than 10, if this is true, only then append that t in A. So initially, this statement looks quite weird. T for t in x. T for t in x if t greater than 10. But it is nothing more than what we have written in our traditional approach. Whatever we have written here, the same thing we have written over there. Just in one line. Okay. Similarly, I'll just copy paste this. B is equal to T for t in x if t is less than or equal to 10. And now I will print A and print B. Obviously, it should give the same result as we got for the earlier code. I'll just save this as trial2.py. Okay. Just see. 17, 19, 88, 77, 17, 98, 19, 88, 27, 77. Values greater than 10, and these are values less than or equal to 10, just as we got earlier. Isn't that interesting? And remember one thing, final, that it is not compulsory that every Python programmer must know list comprehension. Because even if you don't know list comprehension, you can write like this on the left-hand side. In fact, if you ask me personally, what I like is that left-hand side code, not the right-hand side code. Now that I know what is list comprehension, I use it. Right? But if you ask on any other day to any programmer, which method is better, he or she will obviously say more descriptive is more better. instead of crunching those lines. Okay. What about time? Time taken by these two codes to execute. Time taken by these two codes is same. I mean, if you take this line, this first line, what is it doing? Isn't it having for loop? It is going through list X. And then for every value, it is inspecting, is t greater than 10? Same thing, whatever is happening on the left-hand side is happening on the right-hand side. So even for time, there is no improvement. It's only a matter of convenience that you have written that in one line. Okay. So what is the general grammar of list comprehension? You see, grammar of list comprehension. I hope you are taking it down. Grammar of or syntax of list comprehension. See, on the left hand side, you will have some list, then you will write square bracket. Then you will have for some variable in list. You will write list name. Okay. Then you will have if some condition. Square bracket close. And here in the beginning, you will have expression. Note very carefully, you take your own time. What is written in the grammar, in the textbooks, is EXPR is written, expression. This value of this expression, whatever is this expression, will be appended in A. Here, whatever is the variable t, we have given same variable here. If t is greater than 10, append t. But it is not necessary that it should be t only. It can be any expression. Okay. I'll solve one more example and then I will ask you if you have any difficulty till now. Okay. Just observe this example and then you ask if you have any difficulty. Here is question 2. Suppose list X has these values 10, 15, 3, 14, 16, 18 and -3. And list A must store greater than 10. Same as before. Exactly same as before. Sorry, I'll just change this. If value is greater than 10, then list A should store value upon 2. Value upon 2. Just manage this. This is value. Okay, I'll just write it again. Should store value upon 2. And if value is less than or equal to 10, then list B should store value into 2. This is our requirement. So what should happen? You tell me, what should list A store? Just check this. This value 10 is less than or equal to 10, then 20 should be stored. Purely 10 we don't want to copy now, but we will be asking question to 10 only because that is the value in the list X. So if the value is less than or equal to 10, then what do you want to append in list A? You don't want to append that value. You want to multiply it with 2 and then store it. That's your requirement. Then what will be there in list B? You just observe list B. You see 15. It is greater than 10, but divided by 2. So it should be 7. It is integer division specified. It won't be 7.5. Then 3. It is less than or equal to 10. So it should go. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it should go here. Less than. Did I make a mistake here? Yeah, I think so. Let me. This greater than less than I got confused. Okay. If value is greater than 10, then list A should store value divided by 2. So this 10 is not greater than 10. So it should go in list B because it is less than or equal to 10 into 2. So B should store 20. Next value 15. So 7 should go in A. I hope you are understanding. Value upon 2, 3 is again less than or equal to 10. So 6 should be there. Then 14, it's greater than 10. So again 7 should be there. 14 upon 2 is 7. Then 16, again 8 should be there here. Then 18, 9 should be there. And minus 3 into 2. So minus 6 should be there. This should be our answer. How will you write this program? Come on, come on. Using comprehension, how will you write? Just see, we will make this list X in our code 10, 15, 3, 14, 16, 18, minus 3. Now, you want A to be a list, correct? You want A to be a list, square bracket given. You first make a for loop where T will become each value of X. Then you ask, is this T of your interest? It is of your interest only if it is greater than 10. Then the current value T should not be copied in A, should not be appended, but it should be T // 2. This becomes your expression. So you will see that this, is true for 15 because 15 is greater than 10. Then 15 upon 2, which is 7, will be appended in A. I hope you got this. Why expression is written in the grammar? It's not necessary that whatever variable you have written, the same variable should come here. It depends on your application. If that value passes the condition, is true for that value, then what do you want to do with that value and append it? Okay. So, B should be for T in X if T is less than or equal to 10. Then only it is of our interest, and we will say copy T into 2 in list B. And finally, we will print A and B. That's it. Output of this code. I didn't get your question. This print A is going to print what? It's going to print, let us check. Output will be, due to print, there will be output. T upon 2 for values greater than 10. So for 15, it will be 7. Then for 14, again, it will be 7. For 16, it will be 8. And for 18, it will be 9. This will be first output. And what will B store? Our second list? T into 2 if T is less than or equal to 10. So this is less than or equal to 10. So 20 is the first value which will be printed. Then for this 3, it will be 6. And for this minus 3, it will be minus 6. These will be the two outputs. Okay. Let me go to Python idle. We'll update one of the programs. We will not create a new program. So 10, 15, 3, 14. Let's see. 10, 15, 3, 14. 16, 18, minus 3. 16, 18, minus 3. And we are saying if T is greater than 10, then store T upon 2 in list A. And if T is less than or equal to 10, store T into 2. And then finally, we are printing list A and list B. So I'll just save this. Just check. 7, 7, 8, 9, just as we wrote, 26 minus 6 is the output. Just check the code. This was the output we wrote. 7, 7, 8, 9, 26 minus 6. Okay. So, no further questions, I hope so. Okay. Bhuwana Sri says, yes, sir. Okay, fine. Now, let's take the next example. Huh? Suppose this is question 3. List X is storing some strings. Let's say ABC. This is a list of strings. D, E, F, G, H, X, Y, Z, T, and LM, very small string. This is a list. I could have taken a bigger list, but this is also okay. You know that this is the 0th element, this entire thing is the first element, and so on. Now, what we want to do is create list A that stores strings having length greater than 3 and create list B that stores, of course, opposite of this, stores strings having length less than or equal to 3. Okay, that means A should store, see, only length greater than 3 should be there. So ABC should not be there. It should store D, E, F, G, H. This string is having length greater than 3, and it should store X, Y, Z, T. And B should store all the strings where length is less than or equal to 3. So ABC should be there because length is 3, and LM should be there. I hope you understood the question. Ready, everyone? So what will be the Python program? Using list comprehension. First, we will make this list X is equal to ABC, DEF, GH, XYZT, LM. Okay. Now we will directly write what should we need for listing. List comprehension. What we now have to do is we have to traverse list X again, because list X is storing our strings. Same for loop we will write. We will say for T in X. See, X is our list. Clearly, X is the list. And we are saying variable time when this for repeats, first time when the for executes, T will be this entire string. So T will be ABC. Next time when the for repeats, T will be DEFGH. Take individual strings. T will take individual strings. Now we will write if oh, wait a minute, my internet connection is about this, but I'm still connected. Becomes the condition. Oh, not round bracket. I'm so sorry. Square bracket. Correct? Now you remember len is a function because len is followed by bracket. So len is a function, isn't it? And what this len will do is it will take a string. T is a string. Like T first time, T is ABC. T is ABC first time. Then it will check length of ABC. Length of ABC is exactly 3. 3 letters are there, and greater than 3 is false. Correct? Then what do you want to do if this condition is true? If this condition is true, it means the string is of your interest. It is having length greater than 3. Question says append that string. T is the string. Now we don't, according to the question I am saying, according to the question, we don't want to now update anything. We just want to copy that string in A because that string is having length greater than 3. Also, we will have to write one more line. B is equal to square bracket. We'll again say T, please become equal to each string in X, and then check if length of that string is less than or equal to 3. If this is true, then this string is of our interest and we'll append that string in B. And finally, we will print A and print B. See, these small little things, which we are learning. We are piling our knowledge on Python day by day, accumulating it. And all these statements will appear in machine learning programs and all that. So ultimately, you should be able to understand, that, okay, such a line has been written in the program. Then this line can be written conventionally also in the longer format. That also you should have visualization. If anything is written in list comprehension, it can be written using for loop. Inside that you write if, then else. Isn't it so? Okay, that becomes the program. I'll just overwrite the same code. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I'm just going to Python idle. I know it's not necessary to type, but initially at least we will check this. A, B, C, then D, E, F, G, H. Then I think it is X, Y, Z, T. And it is LM. 2-letter string. Okay. What we are claiming, T in X means T will be the entire string each time. First time T will be ABC. Next time this variable will be D, E, F, G, H, like that. And then the condition we'll put is, if len T, length of that string, is greater than 3, only then append that string T in list A. Similarly, we'll write for T in X. So T will be again the string. We'll ask if len T is less than or equal to 3. Then only append that string T in B. So running this, you'll say D, E, F, G, H and X, Y, Z, T are in A, and A, B, C, L, M are in B. That's it. That's how we have written this and filtered out our data. I'll now call it as a data because list is storing the data. Maybe these are names of some students, and we want to filter out the names according to two things or two criterias. Okay. Okay. Now, let's write one more code. Actually, I have not thought about this, question number 4, but as I am teaching, some problems are striking. So I'll create a problem like this. See, the intention is whatever we have learned before, we should be able to revise it day by day. Okay. Applying it into our program. Just imagine list X is storing some strings like this: A, B, C, D, E, X, Y, Z, LM, 2-letter string, and P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. Okay, this is the list. And the requirement is create list A, okay, that stores strings having length greater than 3. So these strings should be there in list A, but first first letter of these strings should be removed. I don't know why. See, whenever we state the problem, it's a problem, correct? Okay. So therefore, what should be A? List A. See, this string is having length greater than 3. Then it should be copied in list A. But the string should be B, C, D, E, like this. Letter A, which is actually the first letter, 0th letter, I agree. Index is 0, but it should not be there. Okay. Then which should be the other one? This one, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. But it should be like this: Q, R, S, T, U, V. And list B, create another list, create a list B that stores strings having length less than or equal to 3, opposite of this, but but last letter of these strings should be removed. Trust me, I had no plan of teaching this. Just while teaching, it struck and I have created a new problem. Okay. So what should be B? See, B should store, first of all, whose length is less than or equal to 3. So this is equal to 3, but it should be stored as XY. See, Z should be removed and then stored. And second is LM. So it should store L. That's all. So you can think of what will be the solution. I'll write it now. Here, you recall while teaching strings, I taught slicing of strings. Such a detailed discussion we did. We wrote rules also of slicing. You can easily solve this using slicing. But first of all, you tell me, don't you have to go to each string? Because you have to check whether length is greater than 3. So you will have to write a for loop so that you go to each and every string. Okay, let's see the solution. We will write in our Python code, X is A, B, C, D, E, then X, Y, Z, then LM, and then P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. Okay. This is our list. Some list I have made. Now I am writing expression for list A. A is equal to square bracket. Okay, I'm sure you must have already done this. Okay, here we go. We say for some variable t. I repeat, this variable can be anything, but it should be other than x and a. You can write this variable as, let's say, r. R is your string of list x. So in x, you will ask if is the length of that string t greater than 3. Then this condition will be true only for this string and this string. Okay. Then how do you say this? You say t square bracket. Remember, t is a string. T square bracket 1 colon square bracket close. That's it. Look what we are appending in it. Don't go very far. We are appending t. Yes, we are appending t. And t is the string. So first time t is this string. Its length is greater than 3. This is true. T is the entire string. But we are saying, while appending t, start from index 1. You know slicing. Index 1. Index 1 is this B. And we have not given stop. When we don't give stop, then it is always till the end. So B, C, D, E will be appended. That part of the string will be appended. And similarly, this condition, length t greater than 3 will be true for this. Then again, we will say copy from Q, we are saying slice from Q till the end. So are you understanding that every time we will not append the variable only, we may have expression. That's why I wrote this grammar. Very carefully, I wrote this grammar. The grammar written was expression for variable in list if condition. Correct? Sometimes you have to write expression over there. Sometimes simple variable. Okay. Where were we? Huh. So how will you write list B? You will say B should be made from individual elements of X. So for t in X, if length of t is less than or equal to 3. Correct? And then we don't want the last element. Last letter we don't want. Okay? Now, just take an example. XYZ. Huh? XYZ. Just take an example. Suppose t is XYZ. You know this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Just check how we will write that. Slicing. This is t. Suppose currently t is XYZ. Then x is at 0, y is at 1, z is at 2. Suppose we write t square bracket colon. See, I have not given start. That means start is automatically 0. Correct? And I will give stop as len t minus 1, square bracket close. What is length of t here? What is length of t? 3. Because x, y, z has 3 letters. So you see, this is 0. Start is anyway 0. You're not given start. Length of t is 3. Correct. 3 minus 1 we have given. That means stop is 2. Are you following? It is 0:2 in the case of XYZ. 0:2 means only 0 and first letter will be copied. Let's see again. Let's take LM, this string, LM. Suppose T is LM. This is 0th letter, this is first letter. And we don't want this first letter. We want the string without last letter. That is this. This letter we don't want. Then what if we write T colon? That means start is 0. But end is len T minus 1. Now, what is length of T here? Length of T is 2. 2 letters minus 1. So, this becomes 0:1. 2 minus 1, na? 0:1. 0:1 means 0:0. Because this is stop, 1 won't be included. So, only 0th letter will be taken. Have you agreed? So, this will be the point. Colon, len. Oh, I will have to erase this part. No room. Huh. Colon, what? Len, colon, len, t minus 1 for t in x. This becomes the code. And obviously, after that, we will print A and B. Okay, let's try this. Here we go. Very small change I have to do here. I will have to put, we don't want 0th letter. So 1 colon, that's it. So if the length is greater than t, as see in this case, it is greater than t, then we are slicing the string from first location. So E, F, G, H will go, and I think Y, Z, T will go, because these two strings are having length greater than t. And here I will put colon, len, t minus 1, square bracket. You know, slicing is always given in the square bracket. Okay. And then we will print A and B. As you can see, EFGH and YZT is there in list A, and ABC, instead of ABC, AB is there, and instead of LM, only L is there. Okay. Yes. Fantastic. Okay. So I'll come back to the board. Now, you know, there is another grammar of list comprehension. One grammar we have seen. Where was that grammar written? I think this one. So if you are asked, how do you write list comprehension? Then you will write list comprehension is given in square bracket. Then we have expression. After expression, we have for loop. And after for loop, we have if condition. Now, this if condition, you know, is optional. This if condition is optional. I mean, some list comprehension that you write may not have if. Sometimes list comprehension will have if. What is that example? We'll see. Again, we are continuing with list comprehension. Here we go. So this is question 5. Let's say list X, I'll take a simple list. List X is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then create list A that stores square of each value. And create list B that stores cube of each value. So what A should store is 1, 4, 9, 16, square of all this, and B should store 1, 8, 27, and I think 64, cube of all these numbers. Okay, how will you write this? Using our traditional approach. Forget about list comprehension. How will you write? Okay, let's write that left hand side and right hand side code. I have list X, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I have to create two lists, A and B. So I'll create empty list A, I'll create empty list B. This was our traditional approach, correct? Older approach. Then I know that I need these values one by one. So I'll write for T in X. So colon is necessary now. So you know T will be 1, then next time the loop repeats T will be 2, next time T will be 3 and so on. Now ask yourselves, do you want any if here? Do you want any if? Really not. Because question doesn't say that you check something and then copy. Question clearly says take each element, square it and store it in A. Take each element, cube that and store it in B. So please try to understand, in this for loop, there won't be any if statement. Simple statement will be A dot append. Of course, we want to append the value in list A, but which value? T raised to 2 square, isn't it? Square of that value. And B dot append T raised to 3. And finally, we will print A and we will print B after the for loop, of course. After the for loop, we will print A and print B. So what happens in this for loop, this T will become 1 first time. And when T is 1, we simply append 1 raised to 2 in A and 1 raised to 3 in B, and then go back to the for. Next time this T will become 2. And then we simply append 2 raised to 2 in A and 2 raised to 3, that is 2 cube in B. This goes on. No if statement. That, actually helps us in understanding that this time when we write this code using list comprehension, it will not contain if, because that's not necessary in this problem. So what will be the code? Same code I am writing. Using list comprehension, it will be X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will write A, you become a list. So square bracket. But I am taking values from list X. And listen, no if here. But you append T raised to 2. This becomes the expression. Are you understanding? So this list comprehension is simply going to take each value of X. T will be that value and T square will be appended in A. Correct? 2 chats. I should go now. The chat. But that word append is not there, Pranay. Just T raised to 2 for T in X. Correct. You are absolutely right, Pranay. Okay. But the word append is not there. It automatically means append. Okay. And what about list B? How will you write this? You will write for, and let me make some room here. We'll write it as for T in X. That's it. No if. And we will write T raised to 3. And then we will print A and B. Print A, print B. We got the idea that there won't be any if because we knew the logic on the left hand side. We knew what is to be done. And ultimately it triggered us that, look, we want comprehension, but we don't want a if statement because the question doesn't demand it. Question simply says take each value, square it. Okay. Okay. So what if I change the question? I hope you understood all this. What if I change the question? List X is 1, 2, 3, 4. Create a list A that stores square of each value only if value is greater than 3. So we want square of only those numbers whose value is greater than 3. That means only 4 should be squared and stored in A, because all these values are less than or equal to 3. And list B that stores cube of each values if the values are less than or equal to 3. So only these 3 values should be cubed. 4 should not be cubed. Then you understand will require if. Okay. So it depends on your problem, what you want to do, that, but whether if is needed or if is not needed. Okay. Let's see one more problem. List X stores some strings. Let's say Sam, Amir, Geeta, OSW, let's say some name, huh? And list X, list A stores strings that begin with vowel. And list B stores or should store strings that do not begin with vowel, of course. Do not. So we want to separate out this. Begin with vowel. Begin with means this letter we have to see. 0th letter. Correct? How do you write it? Using list comprehension. So let's make this string list of strings which has Sam, then Amir, then Geeta, and then OSW. Okay. Now list A should take each and every string from list X, so T in X. So first time T is Sam, next time T is this entire string Amir. Now, we want to know whether the 0th letter is a vowel or not. Correct? If it's a vowel, then that string should be appended in A. So obviously we have to check for T0. Are you understanding? Only T0. 0th letter of T. We will check if it is in A, E, I, O, U. Are you following the in operator? Let's check. Huh? Square bracket close. First time when the loop repeats, T will be Sam. This entire string. I repeat, first time when the for repeats, when this for loop runs first time, T will be this entire string Sam. So what will be T0? T0 will be S, because 0th letter of Sam is S. We are asking, is S in this string, anywhere in the string? A, E, I, O, U. See, I have written this as a string, single string. But S is at no position, not even at the beginning, not even at the end in A, E, I, O, U. So this condition, becomes false for Sam. This condition. This is the condition which becomes false. So Sam will not be appended. But next time when this loop repeats, T is this Amir and T0 is A. And we are asking, is A present in the string A, E, I, O, U? Yes, just in the beginning it is present. So condition is true. So Amir will be appended. Similarly, Geeta won't be appended. What will happen when the string OSW is taken? You know that T0 will be O now. And we will then ask, is O in AEIOU? Yes, it is there. So OSW also will be appended. So you please try to understand, we want to append T, the string itself we want to append. Now we don't want to write any expression. If the string begins with vowel, append that string. Correct? Okay. Similarly, B should be a list which should take the strings from list X as before. So each and every string will be taken. And then we have to observe that T0, 0th letter. If it is not in, we will write. Not in AEIOU. Just follow the English. Don't even treat this as Python. So we are saying if the 0th letter is not in this vowel string, then definitely the string does not begin with vowel. Then we would like to append that T. We will then print A and B. I hope you understood this. And you will have no issue whatsoever. Correct? Okay. So I'll just go to Python idle, and we have this. We will keep this only. ABC begins with a vowel, and here I will change this to O. So these two strings begin with vowel. These do not begin with vowel. So we want to append T, where T comes from X, and the condition tested is if 0th letter of T in string A, E, I, O, U. And here we are checking if T, if T0 not in A, E, I, O, U, we will append T. Correct? And then we'll print A and B. Let's try to run this, and you will see that strings which begin with vowel are in list A, and strings which do not begin with vowel are in list B. Okay. Now, as usual, we are getting late, and lecture of list comprehension will be incomplete if I don't tell you one great application of list comprehension. We still have 12 minutes. Okay. I am running with the clock. So I'll just open a new page. Here we go. Okay. The problem here, is this is question 7. I want to input 3 integer values from the keyboard, integer values. Let's call them as ABC. And then I want to do something. Okay, but question is I want to input 3 integer values. Tell me on any other day how we would write this. We'll say A is equal to int input, correct? Enter first number. Bracket close, bracket close. No explanation needed for this, na? You write input like this. You input first value, store it in A, and no explanation needed whatsoever for writing int. Why we write int? You know that input is always taken as a string, so you typecast it. You change the cast type to int. Okay. Similarly, you write B is equal to int input, enter second number. You might wonder what is sir doing. Okay, we know this, but why is he writing? C is equal to int input, enter third number. So this means that we have entered 3 values and they have been stored in variable ABC. What if we want to do it in one line? This entire thing in one line. I hope you understood my question. If you are a C programmer, if you have learned C, if you have learned C, then scanf can be used for scanning multiple values at the same time. In one line, you can scan. Python also allows. You don't have to write the 3 lines individually. Okay. So how we would do this? Okay. I hope you understood the problem. We want to input 3 values by using only one statement. Okay. So here we go. Let's introduce one variable s, and let's say s is equal to input, enter 3 integers. That's a good idea, isn't it? Enter 3 integers. Instead of saying enter first integer, second integer, third integer, enter 3 integers separated by space. So very good message we have given for the operator that please enter 3 values, but while entering 3 values, give a space between those 3 values. Just observe, I have not given int before this. Now just imagine operator enters values like this: 10, space 20, space 30. These values are taken by input and stored in S. But this S will store it as a string. You observe this purely becomes a string because we have not typecasted it. So inside the quotation, 10, then space 20, then space 30 is there. But important thing is, whatever we have given, this entire thing has been collected as a bundle in the form of a string and copied in S. Okay. See my intention. I am purely, indirectly, I'm telling you new things and I'm revising also what we have learned before. Okay. Now, have a look at this. Let's say M is equal to S dot split bracket. Okay. What is S? We have assumed that S is 10, 20, 30. These are the values entered. This is S. Dot split we are doing. And what does split do? Split will split individual strings which are separated by spaces. That means M here will become list of strings. It will be 10, then 20, then 30. Correct? Okay. Now, now we will write for, before that, I'll create a list A, empty list. And we will write for T in M. M is my list. What does M store? What does M store? 10, but string. 20, but string. 30, but string. So T is string. I will say A dot append int of T. So first time T will be 10. It will be converted into integer, and that integer of 10 will be appended in A. Next time this T will be 20. And int of 20 will be found and A will store that 20. That means all our 3 inputs are now in the form of integers and they are stored in list A. What was the idea? Of course, we have to write all this in one line. You will say, sir, what, sir? Then it was better to write it like this, isn't it? 3 input statements. Because we want to avoid this, what we did, we first wrote input, took entire input as a string. So 10, 20, 30 was taken as a string separated by space. Then we knew that we have a split function on the string. S is a string. So we split it. So 10, 20, 30 got separated. And it got stored in M, in this list M. We got a new list M, which is list of individual strings. But we know individual strings are strings after all. We want integers. Then we wrote a for loop and we made a new list A and said, listen A, you append with integer value of T where T is individual strings. Okay. Now from here on, from this point to this point, I will write only one line. How we do this? Best of luck, everyone. Here we go. We'll write S, U become equal to input. Enter 3 integers separated by space. Okay. Separated by space. No typecasting done. Okay. Now, I want finally, A should store those integer values. It should be a list. So I will write, just check, for T in S dot split. Oh, good Lord, look at that. Tell me what is S? In our example, what was S? It was like this: 10 space 20 space 30. because all the input was given on one line, separated by space. So S stored that string. And here we are calling S dot split. S dot split will instantly give a list, which will be 10, 20, 30. So are you understanding? After the word in, there is a list. If I ask you, what is this S dot split? You should say it's a list, because the result of split is going to be a new list. Correct? And this T variable will become 10 first time, then this T will become 20, then this T will become 30, and we will append int T in A. Then A is a list which will capture all the integers that I have entered. See, problem is not so serious when you have only 3 numbers to enter. What if somebody tells you enter 10 numbers, one after the other? Then it's so boring, isn't it, to write 10 input statements like this? Good Lord. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Instead, you make a list and allow user to enter all 10 values on one line, but then take it as a string, split them, and then convert each of them into integer. So I'll just demonstrate this. I'll just overwrite this code. Okay. Yeah. So let S be equal to input. Remember, this is going to be a string. We are not typecasting. Enter 10 integers separated by space. Okay. On one line. Then A should then become equal to a list. Okay. How I am writing this, you see, for T in S dot split. So this S dot split will first take a split it and create a list. So in this place, you know, you're watching a list of all the values you have entered, but in the form of string. Okay, then square bracket. We don't want any if here, although it's a comprehension. But what we want to append is integer value of T. Correct? And now let's print A. See how A will be list of integers. 10 values we are entering. Here we go. Enter 10 values separated by space. Just a minute. If I can, I'll better close this idle. Okay, okay. It's better I will open a new idle, because that cursor was going very down. We were not able to watch it properly. Okay. Just one more minute. We are ending the class. So I will run the module. See, enter 10 values separated by space. So I'll write 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10 values. You can see this is the list A, which has captured all the integer values. So you don't have to give individual inputs now. Are you following? See, if you want, you can give, because, you know, sometimes giving individual inputs is also good, because you ask username first and then password. Nobody enters username and password on one line. It will be a very funny situation. Correct. But many times you may have to ask user that enter the names of your 5 friends on one line. That is acceptable. Correct. Yeah. So I hope you have understood this code very well. How our problem of repeating the input statements has been solved by using comprehension. I hope you liked this class very much, and lot of things were revealed. This is a list, and when we print A, it is printing it as a list. But we wanted the individual numbers. Correct. So if you want individual numbers, then in your rest of the program, you know, you will have to use A0. A0 is your first number. That conventions you will have to use. Suppose the question was enter 10 numbers. And then I don't know why, but imagine enter 10 numbers and print addition of first 2 numbers. So then you will have to write first 2 numbers. Then you will have to write A0 plus A1. In pure inputs, you will have variables like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, like that. Then you will write A plus B. But now entire list A is storing your numbers. So you say first number you want A0, second number you want A1, like that you will have to access. Correct? And somebody says, okay, input 10 numbers, and then I don't know why, but subtract last two numbers and print their subtraction. So you may write then last two numbers you want. So A8 minus A9. Like this you'll have to write. So your question was that now we have list, we don't have variables. Yes, we don't have variables, but we can access individual values using indexes.